In this video, we'll be looking at the addition TEKS for kindergarten, K.3a, K.3b, and K.3c. We're going to start out by looking at the TEK K.3c, where it talks about model the action of joining to represent addition. Our students in kindergarten will be working just on joining two numbers together, and we're going to have them talk about that this is addition, when we have two sets and they're joined together to make a larger set. As we start working through this TEK with the students, with them joining, we want to make sure that we put our problems in some type of scenario to help the students solve. So even if we're using a random generator such as playing cards or dice in order to come up with the numbers that we want the students to use to add, we want to put this in some type of scenario. So it might be that I was walking 6 dogs down the street and my friend was walking 2 dogs down the street. How many dogs did we have walking down the street with us? And we could use these two numbers that we randomly generated by turning over playing cards, but we've put it in some type of scenario where the students see or hear the action of something actually being joined together. When the students are solving this, we can have them use whatever type of manipulative we have, where the students would create the 6 there and then the 2 on this side here, and they can physically join whatever manipulative you have together and then determine that there were 8 of whatever, dogs, whatever the scenario might have been. We can also help the students with some structure and start working on some addition strategies if we build within the 10 frame. So while it's perfectly fine to have the students just randomly make piles of things and push them together, we can also help them establish structure and start to see that 6 is 5 and 1 more, which would then lead us to some subtraction strategies and addition strategies and some decomposing. And then we could add the 2 more, and I can very easily now see, if I have a little bit of number sense, that when I add 6 plus 2, I'm going to get 8. And the students can talk to you about that they know that it's 8 because it's 2 less than 10, or that they added 2 more, 6, 7, 8, as they're working through that. So when they work with the manipulatives, it can just be piles of things together, or you can use the 10 frame to help establish some structure in there. Students can just play around with activities with the dice or with cards. You can give them dominoes and they can set up the same scenario. There's 1, 2, and 3. And when I put them together, I get 5. And this is just practicing that when I join 2 pieces together, it's addition. We can support the addition TEK, where the students have to explain the strategy used that they use to solve a problem. And we can introduce number sentences at this point. 2 plus 3 equals 5. We want to really stress to the students that this doesn't mean this is the answer. This is a first grade TEK, but we can certainly set a standard in kindergarten of letting them know that it means the same as 2 plus 3 is going to give me 5 is the same as this whole set of 5 that we have here. So we want to make sure that we're not encouraging them to start fostering an idea that after the addition sign that that's the answer that I have to get. It is a first grade TEK, but we can certainly start supporting it in kindergarten as well. So along with the students working on just the action of joining 2 numbers together to show that that's addition, students are also going to start working with solving word problems. So as quickly as the students understand that when I join things together that's addition, we want to go ahead and encourage the use and the practice of word problems as well. So we can use story mats to help us with that. This activity comes right off of Forethought. We can randomly generate the numbers that would go in here. There's 3 kids on the slide. 2 more kids come to play too, and so the students can use the story mat to help them solve, and then 2 more kids come to play as well, and how many students are there all together. With that term all together, it brings up the point that we want to make sure that we are not focusing on keywords. We're focusing on the action that the kids come to play to, which means that they're joining the rest of the kids on the slide. So it's about the action in the story, not about any type of keyword. The keywords are not going to help support them later on as they're working through. So as the students are solving whatever word problem you've given them, we want them to explain in their own words. We want them to possibly draw pictures We want them to create number sentences to help them explain to you or explain to somebody else how they solved the problem. So they can use spoken words, concrete materials. Students can also draw pictures to help them solve any of the addition word problems that are there. Teachers at this point should be modeling the use of QtPack. The students do not have to do QtPack, but the teachers should be modeling and asking the kids questions. What are we looking for? What information are we given? What data do we need to solve the problem? What's our plan? What are we going to do to solve this? And the students could tell you, I want to use the cubes. I want to use a picture. And then, does our answer make sense? Is it reasonable? And how can we check it using another way? So we want to question the students, have them do all the explaining. The kids have to write nothing down for QtPack when it comes to addition. When we're thinking about addition word problems, we want to focus on these two type of word problems where they're joining problems, where we join and the result is unknown. So we're looking for what's going to come after we provide the action. We can also do part, whole. And so this is just a difference of that I'm combining two different things. 6 white cookies with 6 pink cookies. That's the biggest difference between these two here. But these are the types of story problems for joining. We can also look at story problems that have the change unknown. So Mr. Smith had 4 cookies, Susie gave him some more, then Mr. Smith had 7 cookies. These are going to be the change unknown, the start unknown. These are going to be more of an enrichment for kindergarten. We want to focus our problems on the joining where the result is unknown, and we can certainly stretch the students within this thinking here. We're still going to keep all of our numbers within 10, so we're not going to give them any larger numbers to do the addition, but we do want to make sure that if we need to stretch them, that we're stretching them through the type of problem that we're giving. If you have any questions on addition in kindergarten, let us know.